Bloomberg has some other great things in here. They're talking about how people are fleeing to treasuries. As you might know, treasuries are the U.S. government debt. 2-year, 10-year, 30-year bonds that the government has, and in finance, people call that the riskless rate. And if you're a studier of Ron Paul and the Constitution, when the government tells you that there's a riskless rate, or even if they tell it to you at Harvard or Yale or wherever, you still have to consider the concept of the government. Is it really riskless? Well, I think we're going to find out in the short run that it's not riskless. As people perceive our country weakening, they're going to dump U.S. bonds and U.S. debt obligations. But right now, people are scared of what's happening in the stock market, and so overall, they're buying U.S. bonds and U.S. issued securities as a safe haven because they're scared of the stock market. And I think as we watch tomorrow and next week, it is good to be scared of the stock market, especially things that are dealing with housing or anything related to that. We'll get into specific stocks some other time. But Monday will be interesting to watch. Next week will be very interesting to watch. I feel bad for those people that don't get their money out, or that believe their financial planners or their stockbrokers say, stay in there, buy now. Cramer. So Cramer was freaking out on Friday, I heard. I don't watch TV very much, but I read Cramer was freaking out and telling Bernanke that he needs to, lower interest rates. That's the Fed chairman. Well, I think Cramer, what he needs to do, first of all, he needs to relax a little bit. He needs to leave New York for a little bit. Get a Ron Paul brochure, get a Ron Paul brochure, and, get a Constitution. I don't care if the Boy Scouts give it to you. Read the Constitution, find out what fiat money is, what real money is, what's going on. Learn a little bit about Jim, learn a little bit more about the Federal Reserve. I know you probably can't talk about it on TV because you lose your job, but maybe they're not going to lower interest rates. Maybe they are not going to act in the best interest of the American people. I studied the Great Depression of the 30s, and this prosperity in 29, and then I studied in 31, and I have to go over it. It's in one of my Harvard books here. But the Fed governor of New York raised rates because the governor of the Bank of England wanted him to. For currency considerations. Amazing but true. And so the Fed didn't lower interest rates right away in the beginning of the 30s. They kept them tight. Major depression. So this time, don't expect the Fed to bail out this financial debacle that we're already entering. They're not going to. And interest rates are going to go up anyway because people are going to demand higher interest from a risky economy, a risky nation that's gone on this ridiculous debt binge. Even the Wall Street Journal, okay? Market swoons as Bear Stearns bolsters finances. Big security firms cut short-term debt, raise cash to calm investors. Okay. I'd just like to get a hold of the papers. Home myths meet reality. Builders were supposed to handle downturn. What went wrong? Well, I've been seeing this for 2 years. What went wrong is reality setting in. We're going to see it more and more. Even here in Utah, it's finally starting to turn south. So, it'll be frenzied on Wall Street on Monday, I'm sure. But the big picture is that if our country was following constitutional principles, if our Congress had a balanced budget and didn't spend money that's not theirs, if our president would, once again, stay within the limitations of the Constitution, if all those people in Washington would just read the Constitution and really stand up for it, this mess wouldn't have happened. But they didn't. They basically shredded it, wiped it out, and now we're in this mess. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, but it's a real thing. One wonderful thing, and I'm so surprised, is that Ron Paul has got exposure. I'm just completely stoked about Ron Paul. I mean, you watch on TV and it's almost like he doesn't exist. And you go on the internet, go to Drudge Report right now. DrudgeReport.com right now. In fact, I'm going to do it here right live and see if they still have it. Because when I went there a few hours ago, let's see if they still have it. Stuff like this. Okay. Talks about Obama. Let's see if they pulled the poll yet. They pulled it. They pulled the poll. Okay. you know, it's just the funniest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, there was a poll right here on the front page of the Drudge Report, and it showed what happened with this latest Republican debate. And Ron Paul had 45% of the internet vote that he won the debate. 45%. Giuliani was way back there with 27, and then Mitt was down there with 15 or something. Ron Paul was in front. Why? Because Americans want the Constitution. You out there and you all over the world. I appreciate getting people talk, stuff from the Netherlands and Europe. Thanks, you guys. People from Canada, from England. Look at the American people want the U.S. Constitution. We've got these bozos in Washington, and they're shredding it. They're not doing it. And they won't listen to the American people. They won't listen to the American people. The American people love and want, most of them, a lot of them, want to honor and sustain the Constitution. So, check out Ron Paul. Read the Constitution. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to Ron Paul's videos. You'll learn a ton of stuff. He's extremely articulate and phenomenal. Phenomenal. But the powers that be don't want him on the scene. We want him. The American people want him. But the powers that be don't want him. We need to change of power in this country. And I hope it comes. God bless us that it will. But I'm afraid it's going to be a financial collapse before it does come. Okay? Thanks for listening. Things are getting intense. And I'll do another update in a few days because I'm sure there's going to be fireworks going on in the U.S. financial markets and world financial markets, which I'll start watching tonight, this week. God bless you guys and gals. Bye.